Good evening and welcome to VicMania Thursday Night Racing. Tonight we are at Kyalami. This event we have 3 20-minute races, no pit stops involved. Here's the top 10 from qualifying. Joslin taking pole with a 140.587. Race start and everyone away cleanly. A few people trying to make up positions early in the race. Eagles and Vinny made contact on the exit of turn 3. Hamilton had made up early positions and was contesting Leicester for 5th place into turn 4. Still lap 1 and Wells and Leicester came together at the top hairpin. Hamilton and Reynolds got past, Icarus bought into the action but made contact with Wells, which resulted in this. Will Pay got tagged by Christian Wells on lap 2 turn 1 and Hamilton missed his braking marker, doing well to avoid Jared Ing and Sean O'Brien. Due to all these incidents, the top 3 have pulled a good margin over 4th place, Ben Fletcher. Some minor contact between Hamilton and O'Brien for the pass. McMillan was trying to find a way past Fletcher and ended up getting into the jaws of Leicester. Eagles was recovering, driving around the outside of Reynolds at turn 4. An error from Hamilton saw him and Jared Ing drop down the order. In with the spin, Hamilton with the redress. Leicester and McMillan were still on the attack, but Fletcher was holding up beautifully. Reynolds made contact with O'Brien, which ended up worse for Reynolds. Once again, McMillan tried to get Fletcher, however this then gave the position to Leicester. Jared Ing went off at Cheetah, leaving Hamilton with a very difficult choice about which direction to go. Sean O'Brien was still holding on to 10th place from Reynolds. In his attempt to push, Reynolds lost it on the exit of turn 4, dropping back down the order. Fresh from his 2nd place finish at the Ozteam Enduro with Hamilton, Joslin took 1st place in this race. Fletcher had defended magnificently against Lester and McMillan, and this set them up for a photo finish for 4th place. So here are the results. 1st, 2nd and 3rd in Pro were Jozen, Tunks and Vinny. And in AM class were Fletcher, then Robbins, an unsung hero of the race, and O'Brien in 9th place. So race 2, a reverse grid of the finish and results of race 1, and away we go. Contact between Martin and Reynolds on the first kink, but it was Reynolds who won, going into turn 1 in the lead, sweeping around the outside. However, it was Hamilton who made the great start, jumping from 7th to 4th in the first corner, and then getting up to 3rd by the exit of turn 3. Icarus's fortunes did not improve for the first race as he caught the grass on the exit of turn 3 and went round into the wall. Gerarding pushed back and challenged Hamilton for 3rd place through turns 4 and 5, however Hamilton prevailed. Ben Fletcher made a surprise move on Lester and held the position. Lester took the position back on the same lap, however a little bit down the track, more action was to come between these two. Lester got turned around as Fletcher got squeezed and had nowhere to go. By the start of the second lap, Reynolds had a 3.2 second lead over Hamilton, who had another second and a bit back to Gerarding. Heckinger made contact with Martin at the start of lap 2, pinballing him around. He lost out majorly. Matt Eagles has got past Gerarding on lap 3, and on lap 4 Christian Wells made a daring dive around the outside of the back hairpin to take the position. Lap 5 and O'Brien would have been hunted down by a string of pro drivers: Vinny, Tunks, McMillan, Lester and Jozen. Apartheid appeared to have returned to South Africa as the top 3 were all white cars: Reynolds, Hamilton and Eagles. Eagles gaining on Hamilton, who was gaining on Reynolds. Vinny was turned around by O'Brien, who missed his braking point at the final corner. Vinny then missed his braking point going to the first corner of the next lap, and that pinged off McMillan and Jozen. He redressed the issue off camera. Will Pay and Geraldine were still going at it like rabbits, having a little battle together on the 7th lap, where Geraldine defended masterfully around turn 4. Vinny had climbed his way back past Joslin and McMillan and was now on O'Brien. However, a little bit of bumpy rumpy resulted in a position change. All over the track there was action going on, beware headphone users. It was Reynolds' race, however, as he took his first ever outright win in VicMania racing. He was very happy and well deserved. And here are the results of race 2. First, second and third, Reynolds, Hamilton and Eagles, and then in AM class, Jarretting, Sean O'Brien and then Shane Robbins. Race 3, a reverse grid of the results of race 2. And lights out, and away we go! It was a clean start for most, however Hamilton made slight contact with Eagles, which put Eagles in the wall. And going through the exit of turn 2, Hamilton had contact from Vinny, who got pinged off McMillan, and that resulted in Hamilton in the gravel. Shane and Sean made contact at the end of the first lap. Sean doing a little bit better than Shane out of the result. Icarus's night went from bad to just bloody bad as he caught the sausage curb at Cheetah. The two BMWs of Tunks and Jarretting battle in and out. No use of blinkers per BMW standard. Tunks getting the move done at turn 5. Reynolds and McMillan battling for position, watched closely by Sean O'Brien in the beautiful sunset of South Africa. Once again, Vinny was trying to get past Shauno, not getting it done at this point. He got the move done a couple of corners later, however once again there was contact between O'Brien and Vinny in the final corner. Lester took the lead at the start of the third lap. Another turn 3 error for the race 2 winner put him in the wall again. An opportunity for Will Pay to take O'Brien turned into disaster as he got contact from Hamilton. However, he made a bit of a faux pas after Hamilton redressed. A third of the way through the race, and Lester defending from Jozen and Fletcher holding off Tunks. A major incident for Tunks after running off the track and catching minor contact from Fletcher. A first corner error for O'Brien allowed Reynolds to get past, and then approaching turn 4, Eagles tried to get past, but this ended very badly. Hamilton, making his way back through the pack, found himself with his friend O'Brien, who made it very tough for him at turn 1. Jozen got the move done on Lester through the first couple of corners of lap 10, taking the lead where he would finish. Tunks had significant damage to his BMW and was defending as though his life depended on it. Everyone was getting very feisty behind Tunks, who was really struggling for pace with his damage. Reynolds was the one who made the actual move, driving off the track and right into the side of him at turn 1. Reynolds lost out majorly in this, dropping positions all the way back down past Hamilton. Jozen won the race, closely followed by Lester, however was still in the mid-pack where the race was ongoing at this time. Vinny had a last minute whoopsie. And the results for race 3. First, second and third in Pro were Jozen, Lester and McMillan. And first, second and third in AM class were Fletcher in third overall, then Jareding and Heckinger. Looking at the points tally overall, Joslin's pulling a lead away from Tunks, but if you look to 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, there are 2 points separating those 4 drivers. Thanks for joining us on this very long video of highlights. We'll be back next week with Snetterton.